pinpoint problems with your heart at 11.
It was the secret that doctors didn't tell their patient from childhood on, something that kept her asking, "What's wrong with me?" Her looks told her she was one thing, but her biology told her something completely different. Here's Juju Chang.
Ripples often signal something hidden just below the surface. For musician Eden Atwood, there were few signs of the dark secret concealed within every cell of her body.
If my mother didn't think I should know, and my father didn't think I should know, and the doctors didn't think I should know, I shouldn't let anybody else know.
It's that shameful.
It's that awful.
Here's a woman who throughout her life appeared to be the picture of health, blossoming from an adorable young girl into a striking beauty, becoming a model, an actress, and an accomplished jazz singer. But from the time she was a teenager, Eden sensed that something was wrong.
I was the last one not to have had her period, and I didn't like it one bit. And my mother was saying, you know, don't worry about it, but I was worried. I was really worried.
After several tests, doctors told Eden her ovaries were twisted, cancer-prone. They'd have to be removed, and the surgery would leave her infertile.
I was devastated, totally devastated.
Little did she know that was a lie, and infertility was the simplest part of the secret clouding her life. Eden was just 15 when her stepmother blurted out something she wasn't supposed to, something almost unbelievable.
She told me, you know, they lied to you. You're really half man, half woman.
That's got to be painful, to say the very least.
Made sense. Something's weird. No one's telling the truth. This fits. I'm a freak.
Eden Atwood is not a freak, nor is she half man, half woman. But her DNA says she's a man because she has male chromosomes, an X and a Y, instead of two X's like most females. It's a genetic condition called androgen insensitivity syndrome, or AIS, which can be passed down through the mother or occur as a spontaneous mutation.
There are probably about 7,500 people, women, in the US with this condition.
Dr. Charmian Quigley, a pediatric endocrinologist, says despite the male chromosomes, women with AIS are just that, women.
They have a vagina like anybody else's, but it's basically just a pouch. It's not connected to a uterus. There is no uterus. What they have internally is testes that you would typically expect to find in a male.
Eden's twisted ovaries, really internal testicles. All of us, men and women, have a mix of male and female hormones running through our systems. And as you might expect, the testes of women with AIS produce huge amounts of male testosterone. But here's the hitch. Their bodies can't process any of it. And amazingly, they turn it into female estrogen, giving them that much more estrogen than the average woman.
They look like women, they have breasts like women, no acne, no body odor, minimal sweating.
In some ways, hormonally, these women are the furthest thing from a male that there is.
Yeah, that's right. They kept it secret from them because there was this concept that if you told them that they had a Y chromosome or a testicle inside them, but they were externally female, they would completely melt down.
Like the character in this episode of House MD.
You're wrong. I'm a girl. Look at me. How could you say I'm not a girl?
Which might explain the reasoning behind this 1970s medical textbook.
It is of no benefit to disclose that the gonads were testes instead of ovaries.
So it's basically a textbook that explains how to lie to your patient.
That's right, that's right.
A lie doctors have been telling since about 1950, when the syndrome was formally identified. As for Eden, it was discovering that lie that shattered her self-image and drove her to sleep with many men.
I know that you acted out on some level with men.
Yeah. Well, in a proving way. I never enjoyed the sex, never. I was like a, you know, like a vampire. I didn't feel like I existed unless I could see the self I wanted to see reflected out of somebody else's eyes.
For AIS women, having sex is the same. They can have orgasms just like the rest of us. But they say the lies can interfere with intimacy, and that becomes far more toxic than the actual diagnosis.
I got told a pack of lies that set me down a course of total self-rejection and fear and secrecy.
I like this color.
No one has lied to 11-year-old Kylie Witcher. She has the same condition as Eden, but for her, it's a completely different world.
Okay.
When we come back.
I'm like a mermaid or a fairy.
A little girl in every way, except for genetics. Female in every way, except for her chromosomes, 11-year-old Kylie Witcher is part of a new generation with the rare condition called AIS. She's absolutely female, but her DNA is male, and she's completely comfortable talking about it.
I don't have ovaries, which I have to have in order to have a child, and I don't have a uterus, and I don't have fallopian tubes, but really I look like any other girl.
Your hands are gonna feel so good when we're done.
Kylie's mom, Jen Cole.
I just told her that she was, you're special, and you're gonna be here to adopt, other people's babies that don't have mommies and daddies.
Kylie was just 3 years old when, during a surgery to repair a hernia, doctors discovered her internal testicles.
I was devastated. I had no idea what this was about. It scared me and worried me for the sake of Kylie, until I started doing the research and learned that it really wasn't that big of a deal.
I feel like everyone's a normal human. The only way I feel like I'm different is I feel like I'm like a mermaid or a fairy. Like fairies and pixies have wings and mermaids have tails.
So you're something of a mythical creature yourself.
To me, I am.
Make just someone happy.
It's taken more than 20 years, but Eden Atwood, who we met earlier, is finally more comfortable talking about her long-kept secret.
I didn't tell him until we were ready to,
Until after?
Till after? Okay, I told him after. I think I barely registered a, that's interesting.
I did. I said, that's interesting. What's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
Bruce Anderson eventually married Eden, but her struggle with her self-image because of AIS made intimacy difficult, and the marriage ended in divorce. But they have remained close. In fact, Bruce is still often found in the kitchen, making meals with Ben, the 4-year-old son they adopted together as an infant.
Did you always think you wanted to have a child?
Oh, God, yes. Yes. Always wanted a child.
She not only got a child, thanks to hormone therapy, this woman with male chromosomes and no womb was actually able to breastfeed.
I had been in a year-long process of inducing lactation so that I could nurse our child.
And how did that go?
It shored up some of the Swiss cheese of my soul. It did.
Do you think AIS holds you back from doing anything?
No, it's not like I can't skydive or anything like that.
Now that would be tragic. If chromosomes don't determine gender, what does?
How you feel? I check the box every time it comes up. Male or female? Female. But only because the box is there. I think everything is about telling the truth. Be in your skin. Be in this moment. Experience this life.
Happy too.
Next, the solution to the real-life medical mystery you're solving at home. This is your last chance to vote.